guys, I'm Steven with Team Covenant, joined by Robert. It's almost like we just started some commentary. And we're here to give you a sneak peek at some cards coming out in the Escape from Hoth Force Pack. Fantasy Flight sent these our way, and we're more than happy to share them with you guys and kind of give our thoughts early.
They're very exciting.
They're pretty exciting, and then we'll come back around and do the full unboxing whenever that pack officially releases. So it'll be more of the same on that unboxing. But let's start out with this new objective. It's called Endless Reserves. It's 1 resource, 5 health, and while it's undamaged, each event card in your edge stat gains 1 force icon when resolving an edge battle.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. You look at it, it's not mind blowing.
It's not setting the world on fire.
Not generally. But maybe in a Sith deck with all the force chokes and the force lightnings and now the shockwaves and everything, it's hard though. I guess the force chokes, it's kind of nice because if you come up against vehicles, it's like these are meaningless to me, so I'm just gonna chuck them in the edge battle and I get an extra force icon.
Right.
But a lot of the time you want to hold force lightning, you want to hold shockwave, so maybe make dark precog a little bit better. I mean, it's like not a mind blowing effect.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes maybe something will be a little bit better. Maybe.
Yeah.
So and it's gotta be it's an undamaged.
It's undamaged.
Ability.
That's the biggest thing. It's like
turn it off.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if you care. Like you don't even.
Well, I think, and we're about to get into what's in this objective set, but I think that's really what it hinges on. It's like this is on the fence. Like depending on what's in, or rather following up with this actual objective card, this will make or break this objective set. So
well, let's look at it.
Yeah.
there's 5 of a single card,
which is crazy
in this objective
just
set.
Needs to be said. No matter what it is, it's like wait.
Similar,
I get 1 card, 5 copies.
It's similar to the Trooper pod that we've seen, or the Trooper set with all the Espos at 0 cost. So here's another 0 cost event, 1 force icon called Vast Resources. Reduce the cost of the next card you play this phase by 1.
Again, interesting, but not setting the world on fire here, at least in my opinion.
So when I look at where I am with Star Wars right now, it's like I draw 6 cards. And I have to do a lot of things with those cards. Number 1, I have to win the game by playing stuff out, which is important. Number 2, I might have to play them down as resources so that I can get more to play out next turn.
Right.
Number 3, I have to win edge battles. So like the cards in this game are very strapped, and it's not like we have card draw all over the place. Like sometimes you might drop the objective where you get to draw on your opponent's turn. Maybe you get your reserve raised to 7 from some effect, but like it's always sketchy.
Yeah.
So card economy in this game is significant. It's very significant. So when I'm looking at this and it's like, well, do I want my handful of 5 to 10 of these that I'm going to immediately discard to reduce something by 1, or hold and maybe put 2 force icons into an edge battle if I have the other objective undamaged out? It's like, nah.
Yeah, and I think that's really it. Like the way you articulated it, it's like there's 3 things that I'm trying to do with pretty much every single card, and this is doing them all in a kind of fashion.
It's one of those, and I will say in Star Wars, it's one of those things you start to value cards a lot based on their entire package that they bring for the cost. Because the actual cost of having that card itself is way higher than it is in games where you can constantly have a handful of 20 cards.
Yeah.
But like you only have 6, really. And one of those has to be a card that's really not doing much for you, aside from a tiny benefit on one or the other end of the spectrum. Now, what I could see is like people start to craft openings.
That's right.
Around this card. So let's say I have some bomb thing, and if I get it on the board turn 1, it's significant.
Correct.
So,
now, granted, that goes against a large amount of like, I don't know what you would call it, canon thinking dogma within this game. I don't know, established protocols. Because, and if Zach Bunn were here, he'd be kind of like, about, trying to get something bomb out first turn, because it's like you're setting yourself up for it to be controlled, locked down, captured, you name it. There's all kinds of things that can go on either side of the force here. So it's like, I can't really imagine that one bomb card that you're going to throw down. Now, the only thing I can say that might be a caveat for this objective set is that when the Balance of the Force expansion comes out and we have these ridiculously expensive cards that you could potentially play in a hurry that have awesome effects and are immune to players' card effects and all this kind of stuff. Maybe these will have some sort of virtue then. But right now, like in current cards that are available and all that kind of deck building and stuff like that, I'm not quite seeing it.
Yeah, I'm thinking like first turn Emperor, first turn
Devastator, yeah.
And you can't even attack first turn, so it's just a big defender you can throw out there. I don't know. I think you can do it better with way less combo potential. So
yeah, I agree.
If this maybe had 2 force icons, I could see it as like, well, I need to win more edge battles. I'm going to throw 1 copy of this objective set in. But as it is, then again, the thing about it,
what do you got
with Vader? Right? I think it's a Sith. It's got to be a Sith event to trigger Vader.
I believe so.
I was like,
there you go. Loop
you
around.
could have just been wrecking people with that ability.
Zero cost.
Yeah. So there's vast resources.
Back to the drawing board.
I don't know. I don't think this is going to see anything early. Maybe we see something later with maybe a reduction effect that makes reduction better. Like a dude that's out that says, if you would reduce something by 1, reduce it by 2 instead or something.
Yeah.
You can see that. So maybe it's a seed, maybe it's a plant, but it's not. I don't think it's anything right now.
Yeah.
Which is okay because we did get another little spoiler.
That's right.
That's
partial spoiler.
Not in this objective set, but surely in another one. And it is the Kihraxz. Is that what you think? Kihraxz?
I'm going with that, yeah.
Or Kihraxz.
I'll trust you on this one.
Kihraxz-Class Assault Fighter. Looks great.
It does look great.
Absolutely great.
I want to fly this thing.
Man, if you ever played Escape Velocity back in the day on Mac, that looks exactly like a Hoth.
Which I didn't, but I was playing what was that
Lightning
game? Privateer. Oh man, that was great. Whew. Somebody might know what I'm talking about.
It's a 3 cost. It's got 1 force icon. It's a Scum and Villainy card, and it's got a black objective damage, which is good.
It's always nice.
And then an edge enabled unit damage, which is what it is. It's a vehicle and a fighter. And it's got 2 health. So we're already looking this is already one cost higher than it should be based on the stat line. This should be a 2 cost, 2 health with 2 icons right there.
Sure. So what's it do?
So maybe the reaction will save it.
It's awesome.
After this unit is focused to strike, capture a target enemy unit with printing cost 1 or lower if you have the edge.
Interesting. Very edge. This is a very edge-enabled type of card here.
Yeah, and I mean it's one of those things where so capturing a 1 cost unit, obviously the resources of that aren't significant.
Is it one or less?
1 or less.
One or less. Okay.
1 or lower. So that I think it's probably about costed right. I don't know. I think maybe a little expensive.
Yeah. I think the caveat there that makes me say it's a little more pricey than I would like is the fact that even its response has to be edge enabled.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a lot of contingencies there. So, but hey, maybe if you have unlimited resources and it's undamaged, that's going to be pretty easy, right?
Yeah, maybe so. But like I said, taking the edge with this probably won't be too hard. It could be the kind of dude that you send out on a single mission by itself, the one guy. Do you want to really waste your blockers in your edge cards that you have? I've got this real significant threat over here. I'm just going to throw this guy in at an objective set I don't really care about.
Sure.
And we're just going to go and see what you do. So I think him winning the edge won't be a terribly hard thing to do, but you got to look at, like, on the light side, the 1 cost units that you'd really want to trigger this on. Some of them are significant, like C-3PO, stuff like that. That's like some of the utility and tech pieces.
Totally.
This game really hovers strongly around the 2 cost, 2 cost to 3 cost mark for me. So that's why things like Swindled are so significant, is they hit that bracket. This one's a little bit under, but I like it more and more as I look at it. Like another vehicle for some fun with the Imperial Navy too.
Sure.
And serves kind of a little bit of a specialized role, so I could see him getting a slot.
And you touched on the scenario that I was really thinking of in Star Wars. Well, kind of parallel to Game of Thrones here, just for a second. With that game, you always want to like initiate, or not always, but you can initiate these like superfluous challenges to kind of bleed the strength off of your opponent. And this, you could initiate an attack just to see if they're going to, bleed off some of their otherwise potent edge cards that they could use rather for something else. So that's interesting. That's cool. I think it might have some utility just for that, because the response can be scary. There's a lot of weenies out there that your opponent might be reliant on. So if you can knock them out, why not?
Why not? All right, well, so overall we have a new objective set, Endless Reserves and Vast Resources, both pretty ambitious titles, Endless and Vast. The problem being that your card pool is not endless or vast.
Yes.
It is 6 cards.
Not quite.
And a lot of times you just don't want things that give you a mild benefit when you could be holding really heavy, significant threats that are going to win you edge battles and win you the game. So interesting objective set there, and then the fighter. I think we'll definitely see some play. I'd like to see what else is in that objective set. He's a solid card, so as long as he doesn't have a bunch of trash with him, he's in.
Yeah, depending on what else is in that set, which we'll see soon.
We will see very soon. So thank you for watching, guys. This is our spoiler of some of the early cards coming out of this next Force Pack. Escape from Hoth.
Escape from Hoth.
Very
the last
cool.
one of the Hoth
cycle.
cycle.
Very excited. And then Balance of the Force on the way, right?
That's right. So about a month or so.
Insane. If you would like this pack, we do have it on our store. It's for pre-order right now. But if you're watching this and it's past probably the moment that it was posted, the pack is released. So you can find that on our store. And we would love to have a chance to wow you with all that we do on the support side of things. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you on, who knows, 1,000 more videos to come.